These are the caliber of people that say this. And now I know we all believe in XRP when it's at $1.50 or almost $2 or when it goes past all-time high. But when XRP is down 20% or 50% or any alt, everybody starts freaking out. They throw everything they've ever learned out the window. You're going to forget that King Solomon already posted proof of the Central Bank of Russia sharing they were trialing XRP and testing it. You're going to forget about the largest patent of one of the largest credit card issuers having interoperability with XRP, which was months ago. Hey guys, Kate here with another cryptocurrency update. In today's video, we will be discussing a variety of alts and XRP specifically as we're doing another sweep of the lows, but we do have some great news here. Patrick Bet David. This is Patrick David, huge online presence, specifically YouTube, and he just confirmed a live podcast scheduled with the one and only John E. Deaton, one of the many attorneys that is defending the people, the XRP holders, during this Ripple vs. SEC lawsuits. Beyond excited for this. I'm pretty familiar with Patrick as well, and we can see. Johnny Deaton, I've seen quite a few requests for me to be on your podcast. It would be my honor to sit with you and witness your investigative and analytical skills, to delve into one of the biggest government insider financial stories in recent memory. Here's a fraction of the evidence. And it's funny that Mr. Raoul Pal of Real Vision Finance also has a position in XRP because he sees a lot of events, he sees the utility today, and he also sees the potential catalyst for the future, discussing the top 10 Bitwise index, which is just a fraction of the iceberg. I'm sure that markets sweeping down to the lows again have a great chance to shake out some of the weak hands, and it's just another day in crypto. So these are the facts, and they're not in dispute. We can see March 2017, Jay Clayton, former SEC chair, agrees to recuse himself from voting on any matter related to his law firms, Sullivan and Cromwell. 2017, we can see Joseph Lubin's involvement. Don't even get me started on Hinman. I want you guys to pay very close attention to this. I'll respect your time. I'm just going to retweet it if you do want to follow John E. Deaton with the number 1, and I'm certain you guys already are on Twitter. So be sure to check this out. This is one of the biggest lawsuits in crypto history, without a doubt, for very good reason. We know Charles Gasparino, Liz Clayman, all over the news are making this public as well. Mike Novogratz's involvement, always interesting. This is one hell of a case. And a lot of people, a lot of Bitcoin maxis are completely looking the other way. I understand if you don't like XRP and it's the antithesis of what crypto should be, but I highly recommend, at the very least, taking another look at this asset. So keep an eye on this. I mean, this is just one hell of a case right here already. One River, as I mentioned previously, Vitalik, on and on and on. So, history favors the bold, and time will tell. Also, really quick guys, iTrustCapital is now 100% free. There's no more monthly fees, so I encourage you to take advantage of this. This will be linked in the video description. I have a Roth IRA that is entirely crypto. You also have the option to have precious metals, 0% taxes within my Roth IRA. Although I cannot contribute to it anymore, I can still trade within this account, a variety of digital assets. The mobile app is on the way. Very excited. So when you do in fact fund your account, you also get $100 in free Bitcoin. And this is just like Coinbase, in my opinion, because obviously they have Coinbase custody, everything is cold storage, military grade security. But the benefit is this is really just a crypto exchange account for having crypto in a 401k, an individual retirement account, or any other type of account. Very interesting, and I know in the previous video, get cryptocurrency in your IRA and 401k. This is on my channel, Kevin Cage. Highly recommend checking this out. 7 minutes, breaks it down, and should be able to answer any questions you have. Last XRP buys I did on iTrustCapital back at 22 cents. I know James Real XRP put his entire 401k from Coca-Cola in there and is crushing it. But nonetheless, wanted to show you some of the opportunity because I'm just not interested in getting a huge ROI in the stock market, let alone some basic mutual funds. I think we can all agree that although prices are very, very volatile in the future, these prices are going to be a drop in the bucket for a variety of digital assets. Whether or not you like XRP, there's a variety of assets within iTrustCapital. So linked in the video description, and let's keep moving. Some big news over in the UAE. Now, please recall the average global remittance payment, meaning people that need to send payments to other countries, to their family and friends, is roughly 6 to 7%. If you're sending $1,000, do you really want to pay 6 or 7% in fees when most of these people are working their butt off to earn this money? We know XRP with offices and Casper working very hard, already recognized by the UAE, are getting a lot of traction here. So as we can see, shared by Blockworks, new $243 billion UAE wealth fund, Mubadala, to invest in the crypto ecosystem. From Mubadala CEO, $243 billion assets under management. Crypto is real. I will no longer be a skeptic. It will continue to grow. We've seen the CAGR. I don't think you can deny it. I know it's no fun and we're kind of speculating, are we in the bear market? Do we have another alt season? Do we have a bullish cycle that's extended? Everybody has a different opinion, and that is expected in this market. If everybody agreed, it'd be quite boring. I like that there's differences in opinion because whoever's right will have that massive advantage in getting life-changing wealth. And right or wrong, the markets are still going to grow long term. Next up, we have your bro Quincy. I believe he was an R3 developer, so this man knows what he's talking about. Notice the assets he likes: XDC, XRP, XLM, and ALGO. Yes, the ISO tokens. Notice. Highlighting top enterprise blockchains, the things you could build are limitless. I would love for Quincy to check out Casper Labs as well. Do not bet against the ISO tokens. And of course, QNT, which has its own actual framework and standard today. And yes, guys, I know if you bought the top at the beginning of the year, it's down. But do you realize that QNT was just $3, even under $1 a few years ago? There's going to be plenty of opportunity. And yes, I think QNT does exceptionally well in the future. We just have to wait and let a lot of these assets breathe. Next up, we have WiseKey and Casper Labs. So WiseKey is a world leader in information security and digital identity management. Notice, cough, cough, World Economic Forum here, the global growth company partner of the World Economic Forum. And we know who the WEF has mentioned time after time. So love these projects that have offices or are working within Switzerland, whether that be Casper, XRP, Polkadot, Alliance Block, you name it. We have news actually today of WiseKey celebrating 15th anniversary of partnership with Cisco. With 100 million chips delivered so far, it announces opening of a second additional sourcing to support growth. Geneva, Switzerland. Notice a leading global semiconductor, AI, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things company. Partnership with Cisco. And so Casper Labs, delighted to be speaking about our latest work with our partners, WiseKey, and an NFT marketplace over at NASDAQ today. Cannot wait for Casper to share everything they've been working on behind the scenes. I highly recommend listening to older videos, even 2019, of them speaking at conferences. I think it'll blow your mind and you'll realize how much further ahead they are than they appear to be. And we did in fact see Alliance Block has a validator on Casper's network. Also was happy to see that David Schwartz himself followed me on Twitter. Thank you, sir. It is an absolute honor. And I always feel like he's warning us, not to sound like a Riddler, but I do always feel like he is warning us of the market, as you guys saw those other posts of rough ride ahead and the penguin confusing it with the black swan. Always makes you wonder. Just one of the highlights shared by Bloomberg, Saudi Arabia's finance minister echoes warnings from the kingdom's oil officials that a slowdown in fossil fuel investment globally will cause spikes in energy prices. Please recall that the XRP ledger was the first major blockchain to become carbon neutral. The CO2 emissions are essentially minuscule, and they're partnered with Energy Web Token, which has partnerships with a variety of sustainable blockchains. And why am I talking about this? Does this have anything to do with crypto? Well, if you've been following some of the biggest names in finance, some of the biggest investors in global companies, they said over the coming decades that the Middle East is going to be a huge sector for energy, meaning harnessing solar power. So it very well could be one of the leading countries in the world, if not already. So I want to keep an eye on that trend as well, and maybe other macro effects from that. Remember Matt Hamilton on Bank XRP's channel. This is an hour long. I talked about this the other day. Go watch this if you want to better understand XRP, Ripple, and RippleNet, their network. It is a decentralized network. And notice the tokenization of everything. As the World Economic Forum has said, 10% of GDP globally is projected to be tokenized by 2027. This is trillions of dollars being tokenized, running on, or even just integrated with cryptocurrency. We can see 2027, $24 trillion. So please recall, this market at what, $2 trillion today? Will climb in the future, but to 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, maybe even $100 trillion. The global stock market surpassed 100 trillion. I think crypto can as well. When utility comes, breaking down individual transactions of course, XRP versus these in terms of CO2 emissions, would love to throw, Algorand up there as well, which is, instead of carbon neutral, they consider it carbon negative. mind-blowing. Wanted to highlight Hedera and HBAR giving congratulations to Infinite World. We're pleased to share that Infinite World has entered into a definition agreement for a business combination with Ares One Acquisition Corporation that is expected to result in Infinite World becoming a publicly traded company listed on the NASDAQ. Infinite World, a leading metaverse infrastructure platform for brands, announces plans to become a publicly traded company via a merger with this Ares One Acquisition Corporation. Of course, Infinite Worlds and Hedera following one another, discussions of huge NFT marketplaces, and NFT.com most likely running on Hedera because Jordan Freed is directly tied to the governing council as well, and the original Hedera team, and he owns the domain. So I think it's a fair assumption to see the future prospects of Hedera and the NFT marketplace. Since its transaction is 1/1000th of a penny, it's going to be a lot more efficient than Ethereum. And yes, I believe Ethereum's here to stay, just talking about some other L1s that I'm very interested in. So Infinite World's platform provides a bridge between the physical and digital worlds with leading infrastructure and marketplace solutions, as well as world-class content production platforms for digital content, including digital assets and NFTs. The transaction represents a pro forma equity value of the combined company of approximately $700 million. Transaction is expected to enable Infinite World to accelerate its platform development, expand brand partnerships, cough cough, with Hedera, and drive sustainable growth. So keep an eye on this group, of course. You can see right here, even Ares and Infinite World. Business Wire, Miami. As we can see, according to Chainalysis, this just came out the other day, nearly $27 billion worth of cryptocurrency has funneled into ERC 721s and ERC 1155 contracts in 2021. These two contracts are both associated with NFT marketplaces and collection. And I'm sure you guys are already familiar with ERC20 tokens. Well, of course, ERC 721, 721, and the ERC 1155. We're seeing significant increase in both total value sent and average transaction size, suggesting that NFTs as an asset category are gaining value. We've already seen projections of metaverse, even in-game items, being at a $1 trillion market in the future. OpenSea's received $16 billion in crypto in 2021. CryptoPunks is the most popular NFT collection, seeing over $3 billion in transaction volume since March. Retail transactions account for 11% of NFT volume, but less than 1% of total crypto trading volume. What is that telling us? That a lot more institutions are trading crypto, or these whales are, and retail is actually more interested in NFTs. This is pretty cool, shared by Sylvian. So USDT Tether versus USDC, US dollar coin of Circle or Center. The big flippening that is approaching fast that nobody talks about. I feel like I talk about it a pretty good amount for the last couple of years. I've been a huge advocate of USDC. I don't even really tether up per se unless I have to, and usually it is temporary. I'd much rather, as you guys know, using OTC brokers, sit in USD fiat directly instead of USDT, but that's just my personal preference. More and more investors are opting for USDC because it appears to be backed by people like Brian Brooks, who was the acting comptroller of currency for the United States government. And it's a lot more regulated and clear, at least, and less speculation and FUD surrounding it. So maybe I'm being paranoid, but I'd rather be paranoid and safe than getting wrecked in this market. So market cap evolution for USDT and USDC. Notice, green is Tether, blue is, of course, USDC, and the tides are shifting. So, of course, Tether has done exceptionally well, but we can't ignore the growth now that we're seeing for USDC. Tied directly to HBAR, Hedera, and ALGO, Algorand, and Stellar with XLM. I retweeted it. Also, there's an article right below if you're curious. So very cool, thank you. Next up, just happened today, Wells Fargo, HSBC, RippleNet, to settle Forex transactions using blockchain. Now, I'm sure you guys remember HSBC years ago, using and experimenting with RippleNet as well. Now, the banking giants will use a blockchain product to settle the US dollar, Canadian dollar, pound, and euro transactions. Please recall the groups that are working with the Digital Pound Foundation include Quant, Ripple, Avalanche, and even Electroneum, and the Digital Pound Foundation. So we're going to see a lot of this. This is nothing really new in my opinion, blockchain-based products for settling matched foreign exchange transactions. JP Morgan's looking to beef up their collateral blockchain tokenization, beefing up Onyx in their division, which was created to oversee the development of JPM Coin, the bank's wholesale payment token. JPM Coin was side by side with XRP, the digital asset, in the WEF document shared by the World Economic Forum. And JP Morgan was an intra-network, a closed network. Intra-bank settlement for wholesale. That's big money. But XRP was named for wholesale. It was named inter-bank wholesale settlement. So a lot more open. That is one of the many benefits of crypto assets. A lot of Bitcoin maxis might hate XRP, but guess what? Would you rather use XRP, which at the very least is trying to be more open than the current closed system? It'll take away the monopoly that Citibank, JP Morgan, even HSBC controls, because those three banks, behemoths, control 80% of all cross-border transactions. And remember that over $155 trillion is sent across the globe. Wanted to share, but Bank XRP Check is proud to announce Ripple as a new customer of its leading edge Know Your Business KYB instead of KYC Know Your Customer platform for its global compliance. Check is supporting around the world with its next generation digital identity, KYC, and data portability solutions. Also, really quick, came out yesterday, partnership between Stellar, Bitso, and Tribal Credit to enable business-to-business payments between Mexico and the United States. So we have this B2B and financing platform, Tribal Credit. We have throughout the Latin America, the crypto exchange, Bitso, and the Stellar Development Foundation, SDF, come together to create instant and cheaper cross-border payment services between Mexico and the US. Remember that XRP is doing the same thing, so they're going to be competing in some ways. But guess what? MoneyGram already discussed that Ripple, when they were working with them before the lawsuit, they were using XRP on the back end for foreign exchange, and on the front end, they're using XLM. So they actually complement one another. All of these banks, all of these FIs, all of these groups are going to use multiple networks, guys. There's not going to be one that can just do everything. They're going to be complementary and interoperable. And thankfully, QNT is one of those OS operating systems that is helping that interoperability. You could look at Cosmos with the Internet of Blockchains, or even Polkadot, helping bridge all of these ecosystems. We want liquidity, we want highways and routes and connections between all of these groups so that all the liquidity can properly flow instead of being fragmented or bottlenecked between a few groups like it is today in payments. As I said, with over 80% of cross-border transfers going through 3 big banks. No, that's not right. Love this, shared by the Genie. Far more money has been lost by investors preparing for corrections or crashes or trying to anticipate corrections than has been lost in corrections themselves. Now, I'm all for having a cash position, but I am not 100% on the sidelines with my portfolio. I have long-term holds locked and loaded. I even have trading positions that I'm very confident in. For anybody that's in the Discord active, you guys know that we took 50% of our cash per position profit at 22 cents. Put it in the API 3 for a very tiny ride before it dumped, and then actually was able to go right into Casper and improve our position exceptionally. So I'm happy with that, and if you guys did catch the video I just did before this one discussing the log growth, I highly recommend checking that out. I want you guys to see bullish, I want you to see bearish, I want you to see neutral perspectives for this market, see the data, and decide for yourselves. Also, King Solomon, XRP_owl must follow. December 10th, BIS, the central bank of all central banks. So we have the document right here. It's about 9 pages long if you guys want to check this out. I retweeted it as well, and we can see interoperable payment systems. 2 or more fast payment systems, FPS, can be made interoperable. The same is true for payment systems of different types. For example, real-time gross settlement and central bank digital currency systems. The biggest groups, the central bank of all central banks is looking at this. And I know they are historically very, very slow, but we want to position ourselves as soon as possible and before institutions have said clarity, let alone start making moves. And I believe they already are. Cross-border payments also require liquidity arrangements as a precondition for effective interoperability. In particular, cross-currency interoperability is not feasible without built-in or supporting FX pools or FX providers. Good thing I know some major foreign exchange providers that have already been partnered and trialed XRP years ago, and some of the biggest tech providers that are coincidentally on the clearinghouse.org under the United States domestic system. To name a few participants and tech providers, FIS of Fidelity, ACI Worldwide, which has named and said that Ripple and XRP will be one of the chosen settlement mechanisms in the future, alongside SWIFT. The head of real-time payments for ACI Worldwide that sends $14 trillion per day said that, not me. I have the video, I uploaded it on my channel, ACI Worldwide, Kevin Cage, real-time payments, Ripple. These are the caliber of people that say this. And now, I know we all believe in XRP when it's at $1.50 or almost $2 or when it goes past all-time high, but when XRP is down 20% or 50% or any alt, everybody starts freaking out. They throw everything they've ever learned out the window. You're going to forget that King Solomon already posted proof of the Central Bank of Russia sharing they were trialing XRP and testing it. You're going to forget about the largest patent of one of the largest credit card issuers having interoperability with XRP, which was months ago. You have to focus on the macro. Otherwise, you're going to get lost with price history, probably panic sell. If you buy back lower, awesome. I just have my long-term holds that I'm not going to be touching. I will simply buy more at lower levels. Of course, my trading bag, maybe I'll swing if I can, but just not interested in that. Remember, right here, even ISO 222. XRP was one of the first ISO standard tokens. Already SOC 2 certified. CPMI, we've seen the FSB and the CPMI already discussing XRP in documents, along with the Swiss National Bank, SNB, where Brad Garlinghouse spoke side by side with the central bank of, let's see, Hong Kong, with Switzerland, and even groups over at the UAE. Trying to share as much research as possible because someday we're going to look back at these prices and go, man, I wish I got more. Even XRP Owl sharing this. So they're actually pronounced Huawei with an H. I actually watched a YouTube video because this is Chinese. Everybody says Huawei, which is what I say. So just learn that. So Huawei, the telecom company based out of China, Huawei has tested Hedera Hashgraph. I would not bet against them with some of the largest groups on their board. Google, Boeing, Tata, which is huge out of India. And yes, they've already tested XRP a long time ago for payments and already integrated with the Quartz solution. So I will happily go on record that I will continue to DCA into assets or try to wait for some big pullbacks if possible. DCA in my assets anytime they fall well below the 236 in my zone. And when XRP's price finally does shoot on the price chart, I believe that behind the scenes, there has been settlement. And also, don't forget about Proppy. We got Rike sharing. Proppy making moves in the MENA region, the Middle East, Northern Africa, which looks set to become the region's first blockchain-powered real estate solution. Thank you for sharing that. So thank you, Rike, for sharing that. Very cool. Remember that Proppy, Casper Labs, and XRP have a few similar investors as well that made a killing on Terra Luna. All right, guys, that is enough out of me. Please recall that all links can be found in the video description. iTrustCapital. Best time to get an account is when markets are in fear, when people want to buy low. I guarantee in a couple years from now, people are going to say, I wish I created an account on iTrustCapital. It is completely free. That's going to be tax-free crypto. In the future, we're still going to be taxed 20, 30, 40%. I want to use any vehicle that's available to me today. We also will have a live stream for members tonight. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time.